Hi, my name is Brian from Denmark, your tech friend with the best refurbished phones to buy in the autumn of 2024, closing in on Black Friday and the holidays, of course. Right now, I would actually urge you just to buy a completely brand new phone. And I know that's not the reason why you come here, but stay with me, because there is some EU legislation coming into effect on 2025. And I know even if you live in the US or India or South America or anywhere else, you say, does that apply to me? Perhaps not right now, but eventually it will sift through. That's my theory. And the EU legislation coming up is as follows. From the 20th of June 2025, the requirements that must be met for new phone releases are, and these are just some of them, availability of upgrades of the operating system for longer periods, at least 5 years from the end of the marketing date of the last unit or product model. Furthermore, the legislation is saying that rules on disassembly and repair, manufacturers must make critical spare parts available within 5 to 10 working days and for 7 years after the end of the marketing of the last unit or product model. Okay, so that's just an insane legislation to comply to for all the phone manufacturers, taking effect on the 20th of June 2025. Also, we got this, I don't know if you also have that in the US, but we got that in the EU. So that's like, what are the energy levels? Also, there's some repairability requirements that must be met and some shock requirements that must be met or met to at least some kind of extent. Okay, I know that's a lot of legislation to meet you with from the top of the video, but that of course is the reason why I urge you to buy a completely brand new phone, because phones from now on will have to live up to those requirements. Okay, so for instance, I can just take you, this is one of my favorite phones for that reason, that this phone is the iPhone XR from 2018, and it's just received the iOS 15, so it have complied. So when it runs out in October 2025, it's actually complied to those rules of EU already, not having been under that law enforcement, right? But then, of course, Apple have some other considerations to take into consideration, because there are also some repairability requirements, and those are non-discriminatory access for professional repairers to any software or firmware necessity for replacement. This is a translation from Danish. I don't know if that makes sense in English, but they gotta make it more repairable. Okay, so that's a requirement that Apple are gonna struggle to meet, but we'll see how that goes. So, just to get back to what phones I will urge you to buy, that is, of course, a newer phone, because we are having troubles already. If you go back to 2023, already some of those phones from that time will not have that long of a time left to live. And of course, this is all if you're into the eco-friendliness, sustainability, and stuff like that. And I reckon that you will want to keep your phone for 4 years from now. At least that's my criteria for making this video. So if I'm just gonna give you some bargain options, you can buy a brand new OnePlus Nord 4 phone. You can also buy the Samsung A55 if you can import it into US. It's readily available both in the EU and India and other parts of the world. And of course, I would urge you to buy any Apple iPhone from the 13 Pro and upwards. And why am I putting the Pro nominator on? Because I want you to go for a 120 Hz screen, okay? Do not suffice with like iPhone 16 with a 60 Hz screen refresh rate. You don't want that, right? So go for a Pro model, and that means the 13 Pro, 14 Pro, 15 Pro, or even the 16 Pro now. These will last you, by the way, the 13 Pro will last you till October 2028. Okay, so that's good enough. And the Nord 4 will last you, as a promise of security updates for 6 years, so that will last you to the summer of 2030. The Samsung Galaxy A55 will last you until March 2029. So those are just some of the brilliant offerings on a refurb or new phone that you can buy now, around, I would guess, for around $400, depending on where you live in the world. You can also, by the way, buy a Motorola if you can sniff up the regular Edge 50 or the Edge 50 Neo. These are actually promised to get 6 years of security updates also, and these are also from this year 2024. And if you're going to buy a completely new phone, the most sure bet I'll tell you to buy is the Google Pixel 9 Pro. This is the XL model, and I would actually recommend that over the little model because this has a better loudspeaker, a better battery, and some third thing I can't recall right now. But that's just an epic phone. It has software support, wait for it, until 2031, okay? Also, the brand new Samsung S24 lineup, and even this C Flip 6 has got 7 years of software updates promised to it. And of course will also, to some extent, be subject to these kind of new EU legislation. This is the Olympic version. If you want to see a very funny video made on this phone, then go and watch it right up here. Flippity flip. But for my top 2 refurbished phones to purchase in 2024, I would actually urge you to buy either this. This is the Google Pixel 8a, and this is the Google Pixel 8 Pro. This is my phone of the year for 2023, and it is outstanding, and this is just its pequeño little brother. This I can get in Denmark for around what is equivalent to $300 on the refurbished market, and this was my phone of the year for 2023, okay? It will get software updates until October 2030. That's insane. And it gets even better with this little guy because it will get software updates until May 2031. And I suspect that the Google Pixel 8a here will be on sale for around $100 or even $50 with a contract on Black Friday 2024, and then support until May 2031. You can't beat that. So buy a new or a really new phone. That is my best refurbished phones to buy in 2024 Fall Edition. My name is Brian from Denmark, your tech fan, and please do leave a comment on this video.